Hello, today I'm going to teach you how I draw eyes. I know a lot of people struggle with drawing eyes, and I don't know if any of you have seen some of my drawings, but here are some of them. I really like how I drew the eyes, and I wanted to share with you how I did it. So essentially what I do is I try to examine the shape of normal human eyes. So let me show you an example. All right, so first I found a photo of a generic woman, and well, I'm gonna enlarge her face. I'm going to make it opaque and then draw over it. So in general, what I like to start with is just like a small brush size, go over, nope, that's not good. All right, make sure you make another layer. Well, that's a little too small. All right, just go over the eye shape. I'm just gonna turn this off. So without looking at the rest of the face, you can clearly tell that this person's neither really sad, neither happy. They're not happy, sad, they're just like content. They're just existing. I'm gonna make the brush size a bit bigger. And then what I'm gonna do, so I want you to notice the differences in the shape of the eye. So the bottom of the eye is very like flat, not perfectly flat, but it's more flat than the top, which is more curved. And we can notice this in different examples. This is just the first example. And the eyebrows as well, they're not like significantly tilted downward or upward. They're just like chilling. So that's our first example, just like content. And of course there are different eye types, especially in Asian people, people of different races, etc. But in general, the method works the same. The eye shape changes depending on your emotions. What I'm going to do is add in another generic stock photo I took. So this photo I have is of a woman who is pretty obviously angry. And this is a little blurry, but we're gonna do as best we can with it. Again, without looking at the rest of the face, you can clearly tell that this is a more angry expression. So compared to the other expression, which was more content, calm, relaxed, this one's more angry. So you can tell this by, if you look, so before we noticed that the bottom of the eye was more flat. This time it's a little more curved. The sides are more upturned, and the top and bottom are slightly more equal. Of course, they're not going to be perfectly equal, but they're pretty similar. And the eyebrows are pretty clearly tilted downward. And you can see it's tilted. So when the eyes are angry, the edges are going up, getting pulled up, and the center is getting pulled down. So how do we take this understanding of eye anatomy now and transform it into being able to draw cartoon eyes on a whim? So it depends on your style, which for me, it took many years to figure it out. But in general, how you can do it is, this is in my style once again, is since I know about these shapes of the eyes, I will take the basic shapes of them and kind of emphasize them. So I'm gonna activate this. So these are the differences. The edges here are more connected, definitely. Here, here they aren't. And the eyebrows are a little more slim. They're not as anatomically accurate. The eyes, like the irises are a little more slim. And yeah, that's essentially how I draw eyes. So now I'm just gonna do an example where I don't have something I'm tracing over. Drawing this face. That is how I draw eyes. And of course you can adjust the size, make it a little bigger, make it a little smaller, more anatomically correct if you like. But in my drawings, it's like not cartoony, but not anatomically correct. So that's how I draw eyes. Hope that was helpful. See you next time. Bye.